Hello and welcome back to the Unathletic. We are today three average blokes sitting here in front of you,
and they're just pushing it again.
It's
called the Unathletic, not the average.
I'm going to keep it average, okay? Like whenever I'm hosting, I'm going to keep it average. Okay. You guys, it's up to you. And today we wanted to talk about the Ashes, the most hated rivalry in this particular sport, dating back to 1882. The current holders are Australia, and they've been on a roll for a few years.
You could have said that 15 years ago also, I think, bro.
They've been on a roll since 2017-18. This year's Ashes were at the Perth, Brisbane, Adelaide, Melbourne, and Sydney. I think there's one more, Sydney, yeah. So, I mean, before we talk about the entire series, we just wanted to touch upon what the narrative was going into the series.
But wait, let's go back a little before that.
Guys,
you said Ashes is the most hated series. Is it that big of a rivalry actually? Do you guys think it is?
In this sport, yeah, I think so.
I think so. I mean, India-Pakistan.
It's much later. Yeah. I mean, it dates back to 1882. I mean, at least you have 100 plus years of.
But Australia have just been dominating. So I don't know what this whole hype is.
India and Pakistan didn't exist before 1947.
We were all England at that time.
For me, the most hated series is Bangladesh-Sri Lanka, bro. There's nothing that's more vitriolic than that.
Bro,
they hate each other. They hate each other, bro.
There's this whole snake dance thing that's going on for a good 3-4 years.
Imagine the entire stadium is hissing when Sri Lanka.
This can be a good shout out to ask our listeners for some recommendations on the most heated derby.
Actually, screw that. So today we'll be discussing Bangladesh.
So, okay, going into the series, England had a 14-year winless streak in Australia. This particular year's Ashes were in Australia, by the way. So, eventually, they ended that curse at the MCG just yesterday. But
winless, as in like
they've not won
matches.
Match.
They've not won a single match. We're not even talking about series right now.
Yeah, single match also. So, but going into the series, Stuart Broad, he said that England's team was the best one since 2010, and Australia probably are fielding their worst in 15 years. So it was a good matchup, much awaited, because the last series that was held was in Australia was in 2021-22, middle of COVID, and it was a complete whitewash. 1 draw for England and 3 for Australia. Yeah. And what happened in the last one? I think that was a washed out game. I'm not sure.
Whatever it was.
Lots of things happened, bro, Amar, but going into this game, because assistant coach Collingwood disappeared. They did not have a fast bowling coach until the very last minute. And just before the podcast, you guys were talking about how England's approach towards generating new fast bowlers had been geared towards more pace rather than their
sultans of swing, which were Broad and Anderson for the longest time. So, yeah.
And Wokes also.
Wokes too.
Yeah. So the fastest pacer in Mark Wood, who in the last year's Ashes in 2023 in England, he was their most highest wicket taker. And I think he got them draw also. Like he brought them up to the series draw also. So, and he's injured. They don't have a proper coach also. So it's complete disarray. The preparations going into the Ashes are also not that good. And on top of that, you have discussions about number 3 batting position, Ollie Pope, whether he's going to stay there. He stripped off his vice captaincy, whether Bethel's going to come in. Lots of uncertainties. How did you guys see this?
But so we're recording this when the 4th match is already over. Australia had won this series 3-0 already. England won the game, the Boxing Day test. When you're talking about preparations, right? It's all in retrospect, because England had planned for the series and they've been planning it for the past 3-4 years. This entire baseball system that they have was with the intention of going to Australia and winning. That's why they've made the team the way that they've made it. With that intention of playing someone like Zach Rowley, building a fast bowling attack that doesn't have much of swing but is raw pace. It was all very intentional planning. You're right about not having a fast bowling coach. In fact, they went away with their entire backroom staff. They took bare bones. They decided we don't need an analytical team. They've taken only one sports analyst and they've gone there. They've taken one spin bowling coach and I have no idea why. If that spin bowling coach's decision is to play Will Jacks as your main spinner
At number 8, Will Jess.
In Adelaide, where the pitch gets a little dry, and then you have the option of bringing a spinner in, when you have Shoaib Bashir in the squad.
In a must-win game.
So what is that spin bowling coach doing anyways?
To add to that though, because they did not have adequate replacements for Shoaib Bashir also, and his form's not been all that good coming into the series as well.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there was a 3-year planning. So it's not like they've gone into this Ashes without deliberately working towards it, is what I mean. Now, even if you take the 2 gaps in between, right? There was a chance to play a pink ball test, which they gave up, and they sent the England Lions instead. And the entire team decided to go for a team bonding exercise or whatever it is. They had 2 of them this year. One in Noosa after the second test and one before the second test.
That was planned 1 year in advance.
Yeah, 1 year in advance. Because they did not get, and I quote, adequate grounds that match the conditions, which I think is nonsense.
It's complete nonsense. And not just that, even before you start playing a match, your first competitive test match, most of the time you have a couple of practice games where not every single player has to play in those games, but most of the time people who are batting in Australia for either the first or the second time are given a run over there, right? Even with your bowlers who want to get accustomed to the conditions and find the right lengths, especially in Australia, which is extremely difficult because you need to pitch the ball up a little bit more to, you can extract that natural bounce and get people out trying to drive the ball. That was absent, right? It was completely absent. So, I mean, I know England fans are going to be extremely pleased with the fact that they finally won a game, but in a dead rubber kind of a game, it doesn't really matter, because what you have to do is you have to put yourself in a position where you're in the series and then you can bring those performances out. You lost the first 2 games, you're already done. The Ashes are over at that point. So I think preparation is a very good topic to talk about.
Another point context though, but this was one of the worst, the quickest loss in a series.
Yeah,
also 11 days.
It's leveled with what Nasser Hussain's England team did all the way back, I think in 2002, 2003. But talking about the preparation, right, in the pink ball test, I think there were only 3 players that are going into the series who've played a pink ball test before. Stokes, Root and Archer. I think I might be getting 1 or 2 names missed out. But the point is that the majority of the players had no idea what the pink ball does. And you could see that in the game. Like, prime example is Jamie Smith, their keeper. He had no clue where the ball is going. He dropped a few catches. He was just not able to read the pace of the ball. Flip to Alex Carey standing up to the stumps.
Yeah.
So that's the level of difference that is there in the 2 sides. What Stuart Broad said, I think, is absolutely right. Like, this was the least strong, this was the weakest Australian team going into the series. I wouldn't say it's the best England team going into the series because they hype themselves too much. But what he talks about Australia is right, because look at it. They didn't have Josh Hazlewood throughout the series. They didn't have Cummins for the first 2 tests. They didn't have Lyon in the second test. They didn't have Khwaja. And they didn't have Smith in the second test. So these are 5 names that are starting every game. Right? And then you're going into the series with a Doggett, with a Michael Neser, Weatherald coming in, Travis Head moving up the order. Australia adjusted a lot. So yes, they were the weakest side going into the Ashes, and they were still just too good for England.
There was not even a contest, to be honest. Yeah.
So, but you touched upon Australia, right? It is unanimous that they have the best bowling attack in Hazlewood, Stark, Lyon, Boland. Cummins. Even though Cummins is not there in this lineup coming into the Ashes, it was a pretty strong lineup, but their batting was short, a little bit short, and they had to resort to measures, like you said, to move Head up the order in the first test also, make him an open. But that was a smart move. He did get 100 there also. So, but the thing is, England, it is completely shrouded. Like you said, 3 years have gone into the preparation, 4 years have gone into the preparation for this. And you can draw the lines clearly at the start of Bazball being their last series loss in Australia in the Ashes in 2022 and 21 and 22. And from then on, you've gotten in McCullum, you've gotten Robke, you've gotten Ben Stokes as a captain, and they've made this whole philosophy of playing from the front, going for, quick decisions, as well as in terms of playing out the game sort of in the same fashion that you play a limited overs game also. These are some of the things that basketball has become known for in the last couple of years. And they've been gearing towards the situation wherein Ashes is the culmination of this 4-year cycle.
Yeah.
Because it is famously said that England's cricket is based on the Ashes cycles, the 4-year cycle.
Yeah. So, I mean, even since you brought up this point, right, people are trying to, you also have to look at the other side. That is, before Baseball, what were the English team like? And the answer is that they were really, really bad. I mean, it was the darkest era of English cricket, and they were used to certain set of standards which was set by the Alistair Cook era, where England absolutely dominated India in our own home ground and won in Australia as well, right? One as in a test match in Australia. But in the 3 years before Baseball, in a total of 33 matches, England won only 12. Right? They lost 42% of their matches and drew 21% of them. It's a very shocking stat. That is the backdrop when they lost that Ashes series. When you come to the summer of 22, when the English cricket, test cricket summer begins, and they came out and completely astonished teams because nobody was playing cricket like that before. Test cricket like that before. And they came out to such a start, and that captured the imagination of the fans because they were playing winning cricket and they were playing exciting cricket at the same time, which is like, if we're all football fans over here too, right? Like, we like watching our team win, but if our team is playing incredibly free-flowing attacking football and winning, that's like the holy grail.
Yep.
So in that first summer, from June 2022 to December, they played 10 test matches. They won 9 of them and lost just 1 of them. Right? So that's the backdrop. That is what got people excited. That is what built the hype around this team. That, you know, they're redefining test cricket and it's exciting to watch again. Ben Stokes' captaincy is incredible. Fearless cricket. All of that started, right? But now, what I believe has happened is that once that initial shock value of that first 6 months is gone, when teams have faced England once and they know what to expect, that record, if you see, completely disintegrates. So from 2023 till the 4th test match, England have won 15 games and lost 16. They have a 45.4% win rate, which is better than the 3 years before Baseball, but it's still, you're winning less than half your games. They're actually losing more games through Baseball than they were in the darkest days of England cricket. Because they draws are not even a thing, a concept.
Like you said, they've lost the element of surprise, sort of, because Baseball is something like a bulldozer coming at you if you haven't faced it before, right?
Yeah, and so away, like you can always see, because we'll talk a little bit more about this, about how Baseball is really suited to conditions which allow you to play attacking cricket, right? Which is what England has become now. England has become a batsman's paradise. But away from home, they have a 35% win rate under Baseball. And these are just shocking numbers. These are not numbers you would associate with any of the top 6 test side, leave alone a side like England who have a very storied, history in test cricket.
But you guys are missing one point. Yes, Baseball when it started off was really good and really exciting, but it also was on the back of a lot of players who've played test cricket and are experienced. I think the problem that they have now is that the idea of Baseball has transitioned into from being play positive cricket, play front foot forward cricket, to just being idiots, right? And not understanding game situations at all. So
That's one way to
when they started Baseball, why it was so successful was because, I mean, they still had players like Johnny Bairstow, Joss Butler, Anderson Broad in the current England team, who knew that when the opposition is on top, they knew that phase of half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour where they have to buckle down and then start attacking. Or they knew when they have to start counter-attacking, okay, to put the pressure back on the opposition. At this point, the way England are playing cricket is, okay, if we are 21 for 3, I'm not going to buckle down. I'm instead going to go straight for the counter-attack.
Double down instead.
Double down, which is dangerous when you're facing Mitchell Starc with the new ball, when you're facing Scott Boland with the new ball, and you're going for those expansive shots. Obviously, the ball is going to move. And that is where I think they lost, because a lot of the old players went out and then they decided the guys that they want to get in, like Zach Crawley, Ben Duckett, Ollie Pope, all of these guys, they're like, okay, fine, this system is working. Now let's go and get attacking players into the team.
Who have no basis in county cricket. These guys have not done the hard yards in county cricket, become established first-class players, and then come into the test team. These are guys who are like, oh, we like your style of play, we like you, the way you attack, like the way you put bowlers under pressure, and you just come into the team. Which I mean, clearly, through the evidence, that's not how you build a test team. It's not how you build a winning test team.
Because, this going into the series, we've touched upon in the way that it was sort of faced by, lots of issues going for England. Let's touch upon the series so far though, because right now when we're at the time of recording, 4 tests have been done. The first test started off at Perth and it was a quick
conclusion.
Very quick conclusion. 2-3 days into the game, Australia took the match by 8 wickets, no? Yeah, by 8 wickets. Then immediately followed. The first 3 tests were, the number of days in between was very short and it was continuous, no? So Brisbane also, I think Australia won comfortably again by 8 wickets. Third test, Adelaide, they finally sealed the series, and 11 days they managed to conclude the series. And the fourth test, which England eventually won, like you said, it was not that important because the series had already been concluded.
Pat Cummins made a decision to not play. He was okay.
No, but they did rush him back. They didn't rush him back in Adelaide, no?
No, he came back. He said that since we've won this already, I'm not going to put my body through this. So, again, you want to be happy you won that test match? Cool, but are those your standards?
Yeah, and also Sydney is his home ground and he wants to play in Sydney and lift the cup as the captain. Because if he doesn't play in Sydney, it means Smith is lifting the cup. So, that's another... But just coming on a side note, that you said the series got over in 11 days. The first game got over in 2 days and the boxing test match got over in 2 days. I just think it's very sad for test cricket that this is happening. And instead, ICC should try and promote the game for longer. Firstly, because there are thousands of fans coming from England, right? And it's not like they're staying throughout the Ashes. They're coming in parts. Some of them are coming for the first test. Some of them are coming for the second test. You don't want to fly to another country to watch a test match get over in 2 days.
But isn't that a consequence of the way baseball's been set up and how England plays?
Yes, it is.
I would say that, maybe the fourth test match, that pitch was doing way too much.
And even the first game.
I wouldn't say so. I think that first game, it was Perth. There's going to be insane amounts of bounce, which will just lift up from the pitch. I don't think that was a pitch which was so dangerous that the match had to end in 2 days. I think England could have easily batted for more time than they did in that test match, which is what led to the match being finished in 2 days. Also, I want to add the point since you brought up the first test, right? Trying to play in Australia in the first test match, right, is a very difficult thing. Because the crowd is on you, the Aussies are on you, they're fired up. That first new ball spell where Stark is coming in and aiming at your toes, it's an extremely intimidating atmosphere. What you need to set yourself up for the series is calm. You need to. Cricket is not just about bat and ball. It's about mentality. It's about showing to the opposition that, hey, you guys are coming on this plan. We're not going to let you do that, right? You want to come and dominate us the first innings, get us all out in this much. We're not going to allow you to do that. We're going to stick it out there and we're going to put you under pressure. That is what the approach should be like. England, again, as Amar said, it's crossed a line where they only know how to play one way, no matter what the conditions are, no matter what the match situation is, no matter who's bowling. That person has a new ball, person has an old ball, person has a pink ball. It doesn't matter. They are only going to play one way because they have now thought that is the only way to play cricket. And they are getting outclassed on the field, but they're getting out-thought up over here as well, which is why they've lost 3 matches in a row in a record amount of time, because it's child's play for Australia, man. It's absolute child's play for Australia.
Especially with that bowling attack that they have.
No, but they don't have that stronger bowling attack, right?
You're discounting Cummins not being there, but...
And Hazelwood.
Hazelwood started off the...
No, he's not played a single...
Cummins has in fact played 1 game. Hazelwood has not played any game. They had Doggett playing that first match, man. And, okay, I'm sure he's good and all, but this is not Mitchell Johnson we're talking about, bro.
But the thing is, just to add to the context here, this series Ashes, England are at 32 series wins, Australia are at 34, and so it is tight. Yeah. Even though Australia in the last few years have been completely dominant here, I'll just take it back a little. So 23.
I don't think they're going to win a test in Australia, a series in Australia for the next 20-25 years at this rate.
But did you hear what Ben Stokes said yesterday though? Because after the win, he said we can throw that narrative out of the window that MCG, we don't come and win, we barely win in Australia. So the future generations, they can at least use this win as a reference.
I mean, see, they're going
did
for
say all of this.
they're going for moral victories, okay, and I give them that because they have to give back those delusional fans something to be more delusional about.
I'm just pissed now. I'm sorry. The tone of this episode is going to change. I'm really sorry for what's coming up.
And it's not just that. I mean, after the first 3 games when they'd already lost the Ashes, Ben Stokes in his press conference was talking like he asked. A reporter asked him, what would you have done differently? And he said, I would have called heads in the first 2 games, which means that he wants to lose the toss. Even though he won the toss, he's not happy about it. And he's like, win the 3rd game. So they're just so close-minded right now. Or maybe it's just for the cameras or whatever to show that, okay, they don't want to say that I've really messed up this entire tour and it's not gone the way we're thinking. But it's common. I mean, it's not just the players, even the fans are going into this series were saying that this is the best team that's there ever been. We're going to teach everyone how to play test cricket, the game that we have invented.
Yep.
Come look at us,
There's
look
that
at the way
arrogance about it. Yep.
Come look at us, look at the way we play, learn from it, whatever, and it's just gone down the drain, right? And they're still supporting this England team. Like,
of course.
no.
This is where I'm drawing the line.
I will
Of course you have to
I'm
support
sorry.
your country.
I'm sorry. Like, we have been in front of this camera just absolutely ripping into the Indian test team, ripping into Gautam Gambhir and what he's doing.
You still
with this
support
team.
them though.
I support them, but if I'm watching them play like that, I'm not going to go out there and be like, ba me for 5 entire days of test cricket or 2 days of test cricket because that's all they can manage at this point. Bro, I say this, okay, that like if you want your government to listen, no, in India, what you have to do is you can't just protest, you have to burn a few cars and buses. That's what normally
Our
happens.
fans know especially well like how to do that.
Yeah, and I feel like for
I remember the
cricket,
2007 scenes.
they burned effigies, bro.
Yeah.
Rahul Dravid, Kumble, everybody.
Yeah, and England, I mean, the fans also have to realize that, guys, you can have higher standards than this. Coming out and saying that, oh, but this guy played really well. Or the way the narrative is being said that in the 3rd test match, Ben Stokes and Will Jacks, that partnership was such a positive and all. That is bare minimum. They're surviving an Ashes match by sticking it out there. Bare minimum, bro. Absolute bare minimum to even compete in Australia, leave win. There was this one, I might be butchering this, okay, where something about, I think after the 2nd test, where we've come and we've taken a punch, but we've had a glass jaw. Right.
Yeah.
And
Stokes said this.
McCallum said this, right? And after that segment ended, Ricky Ponting said that it's not taking a punch which you have to worry about. You have to not make sure your guard is not even let down for a second. Like, do you see the difference in mentalities we're talking about over here? It's I don't know, man. Like, I can't get over the fact that they are still trying to say that this is how we were going to win in Australia.
In fact,
it was never going to work. Preparation, my ass, bro. What preparation?
In fact, after 3-0, the most infuriating press conference was of Zach Crawley when he came out and said that there's still 2 games left. If we make it 3-2, it's still a great series. It's not.
So you're admitting that defeat is also fine at that point because you're closely tied in terms of the number of wins.
I mean, is it a great series? Look, if it's 1-0, 1-1, 2-2, 2-2,
Yeah.
2-1, 2-2,
even if it is a draw,
3-2,
then it's a good series.
then it's a good series.
No, but even if it is a draw, the urn goes back to Australia.
It doesn't really matter.
We are not even reaching there, bro.
The point of this is that you've lost 3-0 already, right? Whatever happens after this is irrelevant.
Yep.
In the history books, yes, 50 years down the line, someone will read the stats and say that, oh, the series finished 3-2. Maybe England had a shout in this, but we are watching the games. England were nowhere close. Okay, let's go match by match, right? I think it's time to get into that part of the episode. In the first game, England were bowled out quite quickly, right? 160, 170.
172.
They had the most amazing spell from Markwood and Jofra Archer that I've seen in a while, right? They came and bowled rapid deliveries. They were hitting Steve Smith on the head, I don't know how many times. Australia were just surviving. They got
Australia were 14 for 1 in 10 overs.
Yeah, and they got 120 all out. England went into the second innings with a healthy lead. At one point, when Ollie Pope and I think Duckett were batting at
65
lunch,
for 1, yeah.
they were in essence like about 105, 110 for 1, right? They were well on top of the game at that point. Cut to 5 hours later, the game is over. They've lost.
Somebody goes out for a side job and then comes back and sees like, what the hell happened?
Yeah,
So
in
they were
5 hours the game
65
is
for
done.
1 and 76 for 5. Okay? And just to add on what Amar is saying, right? These new batters who are coming in, the way they are getting out, man, like it is absolutely shocking. They are not trying to apply themselves. They are like, oh, we're already well ahead of this game. If we score another quick 20-30, we're going to put Australia under pressure. When Australia is over there just begging England, please continue to try hit us. Continue to try hitting Stark. Stark had taken 7 wickets in the first innings. How do they get out? They get out trying to drive Stark. First or second ball of their innings, they're coming and trying to belt Stark and they're getting caught.
That was, I think, Boland though. But basically what happened was Australia realized very quickly that these guys are going to go for it no matter what we bowl, right? So they wanted them to play those drives. And I think 3-4 batsmen have got out playing 6-stump line well outside their hitting arc. Something that they could have just easily left. And they're going for those expensive drives, taking the edge and getting out. They were 160 for 5 and 172 all out. Between the first wicket and the 5th wicket, everyone have gotten out in this manner, where they're just trying to play expansive drives.
Duckett, Pope, Harry Brook, Stokes.
No, but
all 4 of them.
that ties into what you guys have been talking about, them not being baseball, not being able to adapt to the circumstances.
Exactly.
Or
see, like any
playing a
regular
different style.
test playing cricketing nation, right, would be like, okay, we've got them on the ropes now. And we are into the second day of the test match. Let's try to bat till the 4th day. Or we'll finish batting the second day, we'll bat the entire 3rd day, let's bat till the 4th day, build a lead that they just cannot get to, tire out everyone mentally, physically, and then let's bowl at them. Instead, what England tried to do was, oh, we've already got 105, boys, let's go 300 tonight, tomorrow all out, Thursday, Friday, Bender is on us, okay? that's
Dolly agrees.
Yeah, Duckett.
Oh, Duckett was the guy.
Yeah.
Noosa, no?
Yeah. So, I mean, these are the situations where you have to read the game, understand that, okay, Mitchell Stark is bowling now. If I can just see out this spell, 5 overs of Mitchell Stark, the other 2 bowlers are Scott Boland and Doggett, right? And Cameron Green. If Stark is not taking the wicket, Steve Smith is going to be like, who do I turn to now? Which of these 3 bowlers do I turn to now? And then start capitalizing. And then you can play shots however you want, because Doggett is not going to do what Stark is going to do with that ball. He's not going to move it both ways.
So I'm going to get, like, since we're on this point, like 2 consequences of playing baseball, right? Which truly hurt your chances of winning any game of cricket. Number 1 is giving your bowlers rest. Because now what happened is Australia have got out for 132, as Amar said. England have come out to bat, right? Now you have, like Amar said, Mark Wood, Jofra Archer, who have bowled one of the most incredible spells of bowling that you're likely to see. Like, it was an absolute pleasure watching them. They have given their heart and soul out there, right? Now, you are giving them, as a batting team, 34 overs of rest. And they have to come out and they have to do it all over again, trying to defend a below par total. It is not possible. So, Jofra Archer, in that second innings, when Australia came out and Australia won, they scored 206, they lost only 2 wickets. Jofra Archer has not bowled a single delivery which has crossed 140 km per hour, when in the first innings he's been bowling 150 plus regularly. Now, you take a step back, okay? The way you're playing baseball, your entire philosophy is that we don't care how long we're batting. We are only going to be able to score as many runs as possible, as quickly as possible. And as a consequence of that, what happens is that your bowlers are not going to get enough rest to bowl again, right?
It's very rare for them to complete those 90 overs.
So
It's
on an
not even close. Not even
average
close.
speed drop between the first innings and second innings for both those bowlers was 13 kilometers an hour, which is a huge drop. And you can understand that, man. Like, both of them are injury prone. They don't have that. Nobody does.
Yeah.
In a day's play, you cannot expect to go out and do the same thing.
No, and see, like, knowing how you are going to play and then seeing that, okay, now we know our bowlers are going to have to bowl again and again. The bowlers you're relying on are Jofra Archer and Mark Wood. Famously injury prone players. Famously bowlers who are not able to put in 20-25 overs in a day. Like, you know, there are very few fast bowlers who can do that. But these guys, you know for sure, are not going to be able to do that. how can you go and say that this is our strategy to win cricket matches? It does not make any sense. I think that is one of the big drawbacks of baseball. The second one is the fact that, as Amar said, these guys are coming and getting out in the same way, right? They're trying to dominate from the off. I have some stats over here about batting collapses, under baseball. Now, since 2023, I have the total number of innings, and this is the highest across all three categories I'm going to mention, highest in the top 6 test playing nations on the number of innings where they've survived less than 40 overs. 8.
Highest.
8 times. I've chosen less than 40 overs. Why? Because that's a T20 match. You're telling me one innings of a test match, you cannot even do it until a full T20 match? Disgusting. Number of times that they have been bowled out for less than 200, 11 times. Number of innings where the batsmen, 5 or more of them have got out for single digit. 17 times in the last 2.5 years of cricket. So now you again try to put this back into context of what baseball does, right? You are saying that we are going to come out and dominate you. Fine, 1 or 2 of your batsmen will dominate you. They'll get their quick 60-70 runs. They'll get
especially in that new ball phase.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, whichever phase.
Whatever 2 or 3 of your batsmen will strike gold because it's a percentages game, right? But the percentages are against you. The batsmen who do not, even if your batsmen play amazingly, there are 5-6 of them who are getting out in single digits. Your overall score is not going to be great, man. And this is what we talk about in baseball, where Amar said that within the course of 5 hours, they had lost the game. Leave going from a winning position to an equal position or to a position where they're chasing the game. They lost. How? Because of this only, right? The way they collapse time after time after time again, 17 times, and are not able to pick up one lesson from that. Because these are not your tail enders. In fact, they're tail enders score runs, bro.
At this point, you sort of have to attribute all of this to the stubbornness of the management also.
Yes.
So
Definitely. See, in the first match, in the first innings, we were talking about this. Was it the first innings or the second innings where Jamie Smith was playing with the tail end with Gus Atkinson and Bryden Carse and all of that?
I think it was the first innings.
It was the first innings.
Yeah, when he scored 30 odd.
So what happened was that Jamie Smith was batting fairly well. Now the tail end has come in. I don't know why the tail end decided that they need to score runs too, and a couple of them decided to tonk the ball up in the air, trying to clear long square boundaries in Australia. So apart from not knowing the game situation, I think they were blind as well, where they couldn't see the pitch and how long those square boundaries are. And you're telling Gus Atkinson is going to go and clear them? Any sane cricketing brain who's watched, let's say, 10 test matches will tell you that there is one proper batsman. Give him the strike. He's playing the ball well. Let him hit how many ever runs. Nobody is going to come and tell you, you also have to hit, you also have to hit, you also have to hit, you also have to hit. It is not a T20 game. Stop treating it like one.
But you are challenging certain principles of cricket which are there from ages. Because normally one side batter, like you said, you let him take the opportunity, the other guy rotates the strike. But if you're completely cancelling all years,
it's not even rotating the strike. Just be there. It's called a test match for a reason. They're unlimited overs.
Boys, chill.
They're unlimited overs. Let them get tired while they're fielding and bowling. Why do you want to keep giving them chances? What is the need for Bryden Carse to go and hit sixes? How many balls will he connect? Yuvraj Singh connected 6 out of 6 balls. After that, we've not seen it only. Why do you expect Bryden Carse to do it?
Since we were talking about the first test, Australia ended up winning that by 8 wickets. Moving on to the second test, which was in Brisbane.
But on the first test, I just want to say one thing that I really like this about the Australia side, which we're going to get to in the second test also, is that, and I think we'd mentioned this in one of our old episodes talking about the Indian test team, where they play the man according to the situation.
Yes.
And they do not care about egos. They do not care about what that person has done in the past. So they're like, okay, Khwaja's out. Who is going to open our batting now for the second innings? Travis had said, I'll do it. They're like, okay, go and do it. It worked.
Master stroke.
Yeah, and in fact, that Travis had 100, which we've not touched upon at all.
Oh, what a pure destruction of bowling lineup that was.
I think it's one of the best Ashes innings that I have seen in my lifetime. Because he just dominated them. And at that point, 206 looked like a big total for Australia to chase down, considering how they played in that first innings. You've got a completely new opener because Khwaja is injured. Travis Head has hit 100 faster than anyone in baseball. From the baseball era.
Just the rubber in their faces, man.
Yeah,
This is sweet.
Johnny Bairstow, I think, had got the fastest 100 in some 72 odd balls. Travis Head has hit it in 67 balls.
Wow.
And that just tells you that, listen, we're not saying that baseball, this attacking cricket, is not good. There's a time and a place. When you have your foot on an opponent's throat, you press down on it.
Yep.
When the opponent has a foot on your throat and then you try throwing punches in the air back at them, you're not getting anywhere.
You're susceptible
But
to
they're
a
not
counter.
even throwing punches, bro. At this point, they're trying to kick with their legs.
Yeah.
Like, it's never going to happen.
Since you talked about the 100, like second test again, finally, Joe Root managed to get his 100.
And
in
you have to
Australia.
give credit to that good innings. That was
No,
really
wait. But
it all ended up
still,
being
Joe
a win.
Root still doesn't have a red ball century in Australia.
Yeah, it was a pink ball century. Avtar's got him on a technicality, bro.
That was a pink ball test.
The one and only day-night game in this series, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so second test absolutely baffles me, man. Like, I don't know how they chose not to send even someone like Zach Rowley. He got out on a pair in the first match, 0-0. At least let him go. Like, let him build some confidence. Though he ended up playing well in the second game. It's not the right approach. You need to give some of the players the chance to go and experience what a pink ball does. And if you... After the second game, McCullum said that we were over-prepared. Bro, what does that mean?
They decided to spend 5 days going into the game by training. When they did have certain other activities planned, they had a complete media blackout during that particular phase. I think
Yeah, you're right.
Stokes had said something before,
Yeah.
which was controversial, and then he decided not to show up in front of the media for like a week or like 7-8 days.
No, because they wanted to do that siege mentality kind of a thing that we need to show up and all that. Again, like, bro, you have not seen a pink ball. Going and knocking a few in the nets is not going to change the fact that once you're out there with Mitchell Stark with the ball in his hand, you are not prepared for what is coming. For them to say that we trained so hard that we are over-prepared.
What does over-prepared even
Bro,
mean in this situation?
if they played one innings of a pink ball test, that amount of preparation would have been better than 5 days in the nets if that is what England did. And it just comes to the same stubbornness as you said, right? Where, no, our way, we planned this 1 year back. Our way is the right way. Our way is the right way. It's not. I mean, clearly it's not. And to come to that first innings, right? You said Zach Rowley played well. Root also played well. He got his first century. Great innings, I think. That was a really great innings. He had some extremely classy shots down the ground, which, I mean... He's going to break Sachin's record. We all have to kind of like prepare ourselves mentally for it. But he's a great batsman and I think a test great for sure. But it again now comes back to my previous point, right? Fine. Like, these guys got 334 runs. You went back to the dressing room very happy, okay? What you're refusing to acknowledge is that this was a very, very flat wicket. I'll read out the entire scorecard, then you'll understand actually what happened. Zach Rowley 76, Duckett duck, Ollie Pope duck, Root, Harry Brook 31, Stokes 19, Jamie Smith duck, Jacks 19, Gus Atkinson 4, Bryden Carr's duck, and then Jofra Archer came and hit some runs at the end. Even in a flat wicket, you've scored 334 runs, you're feeling damn good about yourselves. The fact of the matter is that because you all went out trying to hit without trying to settle yourself first, you left runs out there on the pitch. Any of those batsmen had made 30-40 runs, that would have been enough to get England to even 400, 450. And that becomes a completely different occasion because Australia are mentally tired. They're going into that match well behind the game. And then suddenly that if Australia lose 1 or 2 wickets, the pressure is all on them. But what do? You refuse to apply yourselves. You're like, come, we'll hit. One of us will score a few more runs and then we'll do it. None of their batting order did apart from those two.
Okay, so and coming back to where England were, I think in the 55th over, they'd lost only 4 wickets in the first innings, right? And the next day was supposed to be the hottest day in Adelaide recorded. So they clearly had the chance to let Australia come and bowl at them again, play out 35 overs on the first day, let the Aussie fast bowlers come and toil, let the fielders come and toil on a really, really hot day. You're starting later. So the sun is right up, right? It's not like you're having a morning session at all. Tire them out mentally, tire them out physically, then come and bowl to them in the twilight zone. which is supposed to be the best time to bowl with the new pink ball. A little bit of planning, but no, we're just going to go for our shots. They lost, I think, 5 wickets in the space of 10 overs, and then they had to come and bat maybe for a few overs in the second day where they got all out.
But Akshat, doesn't this all go back to the whole critic of baseball that we are doing? Saying that they are not ready to change their...
I mean, it's all interconnected at this point, right? Like whatever points Akshat are bringing up, you can see it throughout the series. It's so apparent, which is why we're talking about it.
Like I could not have changed my script 1% and applied this to the India versus England series at their home ground, where you might want to contest whether this is the worst Australian side they are facing and all of that. It is definitely the worst Indian side which has ever showed up on their shores, okay? Bro, there is a reason this is not working. And I'm going to skip the Australian innings, which I really shouldn't, because they scored 511 runs, where every single one of their batters, and let me just go through the scorecard, okay, actually. Travis Head, 33. Weatherill, 72. Labuschagne, 65. Steven Smith, 61. Green, 45. Carey, 63. English, 23. Michael Nesser, 16. Stark, 77. Incredible innings. Boland, 21. Doggett, 13.
And look at how many balls Boland played. 21 of 72 balls.
72 balls he's played, right?
So he is the one, like he also stuck in.
Yeah.
And okay, let's face it, in that innings, England were just horrible on the field. Like they've dropped, I think, 6 catches, which comes back to the point that you are not used to playing a test match in the night with a fucking pink ball. It's difficult to sight it. No matter how many times you practice in the nets, under lights, in a match situation, when there's crowd around you, there's so many things that are blocking your eyesight. You don't know what... You're just not used to it.
And so now I'm coming to England's second innings, right? These guys are about 170, 180 runs behind. How are you going to win this test match? There is only one way, where you have to accumulate a lot of runs, put Australia in a situation where they have to chase, let's say, a tricky 150, 200 and go all out there with their bowling lineup. How are you going to do that? Are you going to do that with this stupid percentages game which you played? Because now I'm going to read out England's scores. 44, 15, 26, 15, 15. Stokes hit 50 from 152. Jamie Smith 4. Will Jacks 41 from 92. Atkinson 3. Bryden Carr 7 and Jofra Archer 5, right? Now, this is my number one biggest problem with this team, which is that they have abused this word called counter-attack in cricket. Counter-attack in cricket is not that, oh, the moment we come out, we're going to start smashing you. It is the moment that there's a little bit of vulnerability in the opposition, you go out there and you start smashing it and you turn a situation which is good for the opposition to a situation where they don't know what to do and they're trying to come up with solutions. There's panic in the team. You can only do that when you've put a bit of pressure on Australia. How are you doing that when none of your batters are getting starts? You have got all of these batsmen who can play incredibly attacking cricket. Damn good. Congratulations for having an incredible team which can do this, right? What is stopping them from applying themselves, getting used to the pace of the wicket, tiring out the bowlers, getting 20 runs in 40 balls, 30 runs in 60 balls, and then attacking? It's the most simple possible adjustment in the way you're playing. And they refuse to do it because I don't think they can, is one thing.
No,
I don't think
technique is definitely not
technique, we've not even come to that. And that is a big part of this.
But these are competent cricketers who can
Are
adapt
they
to the
competent test
situation.
cricketers?
Yeah, they're not. Technique
They are
is
not.
I don't think they can hold out for long durations of time, which is why they choose to attack in the first place. What Akshat was saying, right, about counter-attacking. We all three of us are football fans. This is predominantly a football podcast, right? How does a counter-attack start in football? It starts with defending.
Yeah.
Don't concede the goal first and then go for the attack. These guys are trying to counter-attack after they've conceded 3 goals already. In footballing perspective.
Bro,
They are way behind the game when they're looking to counter-attack.
Baseball is the Ange Postecoglou.
I was just
I just had this epiphany right now.
You're 10 man down against Chelsea.
Yeah.
And you decide to play the high line.
I'm going to say one thing, okay? I genuinely love Ben Stokes as a cricketer, But in that match, him and Will Jacks had this partnership. He scored 50 of 152, Will Jacks 41 from 92. They stuck it out there. And then he comes out and then he says in the press that he's angry or whatever, right? Don't give me that bullshit. You are the captain of this team. This team has played the same way under you for so long and you have just encouraged it. Before you came to this series, you were having a losing record as a captain. Apart from that first summer, English summer, you have a losing record as a captain. So then you coming out, playing that defensive innings and saying that, we need to really stick it out there. And,
but was that the second game or the third game?
Second game. It was the second game.
Where Jacks and Stokes were...
Did he say that there's no place for people to hide in my dressing room and all of that? Bro, in that same conference.
That, I absolutely hated the way he came out and he said that. Because you are coming out there playing that innings when the team is already 5 down and you are trying to say that this is the way I want you to play. These conversations need to be had 2 weeks prior the first team meeting to the Ashes. Don't come to me when you've lost the second game and then start acting like, oh my god, okay, this is how we were supposed to play. The entire world has been telling you this is how you're supposed to play. Coming out and saying it after you've lost the Ashes is nothing. It's just lip service. It's politicking, bro. It's trying to show that, this is what it should be. And these analysts just drive me nuts, bro. With talking about baseball with a brain. The whole foundation of baseball is what? Is that you are going to play one way no matter what. That is not using your brain. A monkey can do that. You train a monkey to do one thing, they will do that one thing. I don't understand how they're coming out and trying to give me this holier than thou attitude about how, oh yeah, this is what I want from my team.
After they were 2-0 down and Stokes and Jacks played that innings, right? Which was just normal test cricket for me.
Yeah, normal.
I was watching something that I've been seeing all these years. These guys are losing it. They're like, oh my god. They've revolutionized it again. It's
such a travesty.
Yeah, it's playing attacking while you're understanding the situation. I've just not got it at all. I mean, they were already in the trenches, bro. Like, that was the last partnership. They needed to fucking save the Ashes. And you're starting to defend now.
So they end up losing again by 8 wickets, the same margin again, and decide after to party for 4 days. And then we come to the third test in Adelaide.
But one thing I have to say about that second test was Australia's decision just to leave Nathan Lyon out and play Michael Nesa instead, who's a ping ball specialist playing in his home ground. He was very unlucky with this Australian team. He's just never gotten the chance because of injuries and all that, and he's quite old now. He's played a lot of first-class cricket. Nathan Lyon is clearly not happy about that. He goes into the press, like on national live television when the broadcast is going on. He's like, it's a filthy decision. He was not happy about it at all. And then subsequent to that, in the third test, everyone started calling him filthy. Like, all the Australian players. Like, oh, filthy, that's a great ball, filthy.
And he took a 5-wicket haul by the way. That second innings would set up that win for England.
Which comes back to my point, like, England just don't have an idea of how cricket should be played at all. Compare it to Australia, who are taking those fine margins. Like, they know their strategy, they know what they have to do, but they're like, okay, fine, this is our base. How do we exploit the conditions to the maximum? Leaving Nathan Lyon out is not easy, man.
But, okay, on the flip side, can you give England the benefit of the doubt? Because sort of their team is, like you said, unprepared for the conditions. It is a direct consequence of their own doing. But on the flip side, if you compare it to Australia, who for the last 6-7 years have a solid team structure, even though they faced many injuries in this series, the foundations are there from the last 6-7 years. The same team has been playing together. They have the experience there. And like you said, pink ball test also, they have better experience.
I'll say one thing about this, Bo. That even this Australia team, at its full strength, I would not consider a legendary Australian team. I would not consider this one of the great Australian teams of all time. We have won 2 series in Australia recently. Right? Fine, they are a consistent team. The players know their roles. They got to the World Test Maze. They lost that as well. Not the Test Maze, sorry, the World Test Championship final. They lost that as well. We're not talking about, even at the strongest, this being an incredible Australian side.
Yeah, and man, they didn't have an opener coming into the series. They didn't know who to play. They didn't know whether they should play Cameron Green or whether they should play, what's the other guy's name? Bo Webster. They didn't know who their fast bowling all-rounder is. They've not figured that out yet. They don't have a long-term replacement for Nathan Lyon. They came into this series with two of their premier fast bowlers injured. So they also have a lot of things to figure out now going forward. But England, even they know now at this point, okay, that no matter what happens in the series, England is not going to be their base for planning. They cannot take the series into context going to build their test team forward. They'll have to see how they play in South African conditions, in Asian conditions to build the team for the next World Test cycle.
And I just want to add, because you mentioned Lyon, right? At the end of the second test, or was it the beginning of the second test when Lyon knew he wasn't picked, he came out with an interview in front of the cameras, absolutely bashing the decision, showing his anger that, how am I not picked and all of that, right? What happens, the segue to the third test is, that is a test in Adelaide where you know that after some time the pitch is going to open up and it's going to suit the spinners. They play Lyon. There's no ego in this.
Yep.
We are going to choose the best team. It's strategic thinking. It's tactical thinking. It's Australia.
And in fact,
it's the exact opposite of what England are.
The guy they replaced Lyon with, Michael Neser, took a fifer in the second innings, and the first person to go and hug him was Nathan Lyon, standing at the boundary.
The guy who called him filthy. So, I mean, talk to me about the test though, because they wrapped it up pretty quick there also.
So, Adelaide was supposed to be the test that England win. Because in Australian conditions, that pitch is
the closest you will get to baseball friendly conditions.
Yeah.
Batting wise, at least.
Yeah, like that pitch was supposed to score. You're supposed to score a lot of runs over there, and England were fairly confident that they're going to get this back to 2-1. They went to Noosa to have a chill, relaxing session.
To have a few drinks.
Yeah.
one year in advance preparation.
A few beers.
I mean, I don't know how you explain that you cancelled it at that point, man. Like, you just take that call to cancel that.
I mean,
or you don't need to waste it. Like, maybe that's an option.
You don't roam the streets drinking. We know that.
Look, I have to give it to them at that point.
No, we don't.
I get the decision, okay? Like, Ashes is such a series where there's so many eyeballs on it. English media is going to be ruthless. Australian media is going to be even more ruthless. You're 2-0 down. You just want to get away from everything, okay? Let's not focus on cricket for the next 2-3 days.
English media are ruthless to a level where I saw a report where they're talking about how many. There was a particular dish, I don't remember the dish that these people have dug into. Like,
what research for does
they've cited how English players kept going back to that dish and repeatedly taking. But yeah, this was in context of what you said about the English media. But yeah, continue.
So they decided, no, let's go for this golfing / I don't know what they did over there. I saw some videos come out.
Beach holiday.
What happens in the third test though?
So it starts with England actually, again with the new ball, doing pretty well. They had Australia for 33 for 2 and then 94 for 4 at one point of time. And that's when Alex Carey and Usman Khawaja play an absolutely incredible partnership. Full credit to Alex Carey. I really like him as a player as well. He has one of those guys who is underrated, I feel. Like across all formats.
Extremely.
Across all formats.
Since we're talking about him, guys, like I wanted to bring this up for the second test as well. Yes, Mitchell Starc has done whatever he's done. He's taken like 26 wickets. He's averaging at 30 with the bat. 150 runs he scored in the series. I want Alex Carey to get the man of the series in this. Because he's been incredible behind the stumps. Some of the best glove work that I've seen. He took a crazy catch in the second test match under lights in Adelaide where he's run back to the boundary and picked it up. But it's not that, okay? His skill is so underrated that he's standing up to the stumps for bowlers, everyone except Stark, like he's standing up to the stumps. And you're not talking about 120, 115, 120
130,
balls.
135.
130, 135. And the reason why they're doing that is because they're seeing people like Joe Root, loves to stand 2 steps ahead of the crease. Harry Brook just comes out. First ball that he's facing to Mitchell Starc, he's down like 3 feet down and trying to swing the bat. To negate that completely, they're like, okay, Alex Carey, go up to the stumps. And there's this, I'll see if I can find the link and put it below. But there's this Twitter compilation of Alex Carey behind the stumps, 1 minute 40 seconds. It's none of his catches. It's things that don't come into the highlights reel. It's just his glove work. Like how he's able to collect the ball.
Doing this also in a day-night game also, I mean, that shows immense skill.
Yeah.
It does.
Incredible skill. And that was such a peg back to England. One of those other, small tactical tweaks that they do that just completely shun off the opposition. Now England don't know how to react. Harry Brook forgets how to bat. Joe Root cannot step out and knock the ball around for those ones and twos. Oh, actually, we've not spoken about England rotating the strike. It's just non-existent.
You want to add that? The problems we have with basketball, we can do it, bro.
So I was watching the Test, which is this Amazon Prime show, just to see like the build-up to the Ashes. And back in I think 2022 when they went to 2023 when they went to England, before the first game, the analyst was telling them that these guys only operate in boundaries. So Pat Cummins is like, okay, then let's stop the boundaries. I will put fielders outside, even though in a course of a test match day, it feels difficult when the batsmen are rotating strike and taking ones and twos. It feels difficult for us. That's not our game plan. We'll stick to our game plan, which is not giving them boundaries at all. And that's what I like about this Australian team. They figure out a way to stop the opposition.
But Amar, I would not even give that much credit to the Australian team for this, because I feel like we did this too when we went to tour England, where normally, and we just spoke about this before the podcast, that when you put your fielders back in a test match, that's an admission of defeat almost, where you're like, this game has gone well past us.
I don't want an embarrassment.
I don't want them to score runs so freely, so I'm going to first try and stop the flow of runs. Then maybe I can force a few mistakes and put pressure back on the batsman. Against this England basketball team, you put your fielders out deep, and it's a wicket-taking strategy, because these guys are dumb enough to try swinging the ball and try to clear Australian boundaries. And this again comes back to the whole point that, baseball works maybe in certain conditions, certain pitches in England. Flat roads with small boundaries, especially square of the wicket. In Australia, it does not work, and it is so easy to figure it out and plan against it that, again, like Amar said, it was elementary, bro. It was like too easy to get them out like this, man.
I mean, let's come back to the third test.
Yeah.
In the first innings, Usman Khawaja hit 82. And again, no ego issues at all. Left out of the team as an opener, come back, play in the middle order and score runs. Yes, we will do it because that's what the team requires me to do. Steve Smith was out because of vertigo issues. And I completely get that because he's a fucking psychopath looking at the way he bats. Dude, he's autistic for sure, bro.
Where did this go?
He's autistic for sure. I'm seeing so many Australian tweets saying my autistic goat.
Let's go.
Have you been seeing him in these last few games? He's just having fun. Like he's showing the trajectory of the ball every time the ball is bowled to him. So he's either doing this or he's doing this or he's doing that. So he's showing everyone where the ball is swinging.
No,
I can imagine.
Now that you mention it, I'm going back in history, bro. There was this one time, I think it was Siraj, okay? He plays and he misses. I was like, oh! Like this
Yeah.
bro. So, I don't know. Things are clicking now.
Yeah.
So now that we talked about Steve Smith's mental state, Australia end up winning the test and the series there.
Yeah.
And we come to...
And okay, just to say, Australia 371 in that first innings. England were 71 for 4. Gone there only. You're not coming back from that. And
no, but at that time, Stokes and Brook were having a partnership, which I think I was texting you guys at that time, saying that, oh, this is fun to watch. Like, this is good counter-attacking cricket. But it comes back to Akshat's point. Like, it'll work 1 out of 10 times. And you need your other batsmen to perform. And, okay, let's face it, Stokes played some really, really good shots, okay, there. He put Australia under a lot of pressure in their first innings. He got, 60, 65 odd. After that, when it is time to buckle down and then play the long innings, they can't do it.
They just cannot.
Because look at what happens, right? The opposition team knows that you're attacking. You've hit 60 already in quick time, 60 of 70 balls. Fielders are already out. Now is the time you score the runs. There are gaps in the field. The fielders are across in the boundaries. From maybe 3 slips in a gully or 2 slips in a gully, you've come down to maybe just 1 slip. You don't have a catching mid-wicket.
It's a batter's dream.
Yeah. Now is the time when you have spaces
Accumulate.
open. Start rotating the strike. What is stopping you from doing that? But no, we are going to go from 60 of 70 balls to 100 of 110 balls.
And even then, right, like the issue is that, see, you want to create a test team which wants to attack. Okay, I'll give you that also, right? The problem is that you need to balance that skill set out. If you have 7 to 8 batters, including all-rounders in this team, you can choose maybe 4 to 5 batters who are going to play your attacking ODI T20 cricket. But you also need to balance it out with maybe 2 to 3 batters across your batting lineup who are going to be your anchors, who will make sure that you're not collapsing. And while the others can come and hit, but these guys are going to stay there throughout. England don't have that. They don't even think of doing that. They've taken Joe Root and turned him into the same kind of a cricketer. And again, I've been through this point where Stokes coming and doing it in the last match when they've already lost does not make a difference to me. It does not move me, as the kids say. You need that from someone in your top order, from someone in your middle order, and from someone in your lower order who's going to, balance out the sloggers who are coming in behind, right? It doesn't happen. And again, I mean, as Amar said, percentage is game. A few of your batters will score your runs, but overall you're bowled out for 286, which is nowhere near enough.
Look, in the third innings, when Australia came out, they were under a little bit of pressure. I think the first few batsmen got out very quickly.
53 for 2.
Yeah, they were 53 for 2. But then was the Travis Head show, right? He's hit 170 in a game and still not got man of the match because Alex Carey got it because of his keeping skills.
Nice.
And his batting, like he hit a century. Travis Head's 4th consecutive 100 in his home ground.
Whoa.
Yeah. That is mad. So they already knew that Travis Head is going to be the one, and apparently in the Australian circle, he's the one who organizes the best night outs when they're playing in his home city. And they asked him, have you planned anything yet? When the match got over, he's like, no, I should have last night though. I should have made all the preparations because we were going to win anyways, but we're going to have fun tonight because the Ashes is done.
And
That's a good way to celebrate winning the series.
One more thing I want to point out, okay, is that Adelaide, as we know, is the most spin-friendly track which you're going to get, and we already spoke about Australia picking Lion, right? Now, England, in that first innings, and the bowler who bowled the most number of balls is Will Jacks.
What I'm saying, like, why is that spinning coach there in this England setup? What is his use?
In the second innings, the person who bowled the most number of balls is Bryden Cars. Will Jacks, number 2, he bowled 1 over less.
But what's the logic behind it though? Because you're adding Will Jacks into the squad to add to your batting firepower in the number 8 position also, and he can do something with the ball as well.
But I'll tell you exactly what has happened. Okay, I'll tell you exactly what has happened. England have planned the series in such a way where they've taken Will Jacks just for that third game to come in as a batting all-rounder, to give an extra option for spin maybe to Shoaib Bashir. I think they wanted to play both of them. Okay, after the first 2 games, they've realized that their batting is shit. They cannot bat to save their lives, so they have to play Will Jacks. And if you're playing Shoaib Bashir in that third game, you're basically down 1 more batter. So they couldn't do that. And they've decided to play Will Jacks as their frontline off spinner. After the third game, Shoaib Bashir has gone. I said they've taken Will Jacks for the series. They've taken Shoaib Bashir for the series for the third game.
Yeah.
Shoaib Bashir has gone onto the field after the match is done. The covers are on, and he's taken a picture of it, uploaded on Instagram, and come back. He's on an empty field. He was definitely taken with the intention of playing the third game.
Like, I'll role play what the conversation was like, okay? So, someone asked Brendan McCullum that, hey, this is a spinning track. Like, don't you think we should play a spinner? Brendan McCullum's like, no, we have Archer who's going to take the wickets up front. Oh, but what if he doesn't take the wickets up front?
That's it.
No, he'll take the wickets up. No, but what if he doesn't? We need someone to control the overs. That's it. That is the strategy. That is the think tank, bro. That is all. Like, bro, what else? What other reason can you give, bro?
Is this McCullum talking to the mirror because there were no other sporting coaches? There was no think tank, bro. There was one person.
Him and Stokesy, bro. That's all.
Stokes was a nooser, bro. He was partying.
I keep forgetting this timeline.
This was McCullum in front of the mirror.
When he got extremely hammered, by mistakes, the alter ego was trying to tell him to play a spinner. Like, no, it's okay. Archer will take the wickets.
So Adelaide is a pitch that dries out a lot, and it's conducive for the spinner to play, which is why Nathan Lyon played and did so well over there as well. And as Akshat said, Will Jacks was the guy who bowled the most overs, and you cannot tell me that's a strategy going into the game. Talk about
they prepared for this for 3-4 years and over prepared and all of that. You cannot tell me that they were like, Jacks will bowl us the most overs.
Let's talk about the fourth innings, right, of England, because at one point it did look like they might win. Okay, it did. Like, if they had played out the last 20 overs, they were 4 wickets down. Go on to the next day, you have to chase 150, 160, I think.
Yeah, so they were 194 for 6 and they had reached 280 for 6. So
no, before the 6, before the 194 for 6.
They were 170 for 3.
170 for 3 and then 4th wicket. There was basically not a lot of time left, okay. Come back the next day, bat it out, see how many runs you can get, and then start attacking. But no, they've gone from that 170 to 3 for whatever for 6. They've come out the next day with Jamie Smith batting. Even after that, let's come back a little bit before of Harry Brook, okay. What was he doing in that innings? There was one particular shot where Boland is, like, Boland is metronomical, okay. Whatever happens, he's going to pitch it right over there. It's like he's put one scope target on and he's going to bowl it again and again and again. What does Harry Brook decide to do? He decides to lap him. And on air, Ricky Ponting was commentating at that time and he's like, this is the worst batting that I've seen. He said it on live television.
Hearing that from Ricky Ponting,
I swear,
yeah,
that must be so much good for your confidence.
It's like, Papa, I disappointed you. Sorry, it's like, that kind of feeling.
He was pissed, bro. He was pissed because that ball has hit 1 inch of the bat, okay, and just missed the stump. It was a full ball. He'd already premeditated that shot that he's going to lap it. It's a full delivery. He thought it's going to be the good length ball, and he's just survived. Cut to, he survived that ball, okay. As a sane human being, you'd be like, I made a mistake. Let's not predetermine shots at this point. Okay, because these Australian bowlers are actually good.
Yep.
I am not playing against Pakistan. I'm not playing against Bangladesh. Where I scored.
They lost the series against Pakistan as well.
No,
okay.
They didn't.
2-1 they lost, bro, at Pakistan.
No, I think they won.
They won, I think.
But that was the series
bro,
where...
that bowler with the handlebar mustache destroyed them, brah. That Sajid guy.
But I took that series into context because that was a series where Brook hit a triple century. Okay?
Yeah.
So, you're not playing against Pakistan. These guys are actually good bowlers. How does he get out? He tries to reverse sweep Nathan Lyon, bro. The second highest leading wicket taker in Australia who's playing this match because the pitch is conducive to spin. The ball is pitched on 4th stump. He's trying to reverse sweep it. It's gone and hit leg stump. That's how Harry Brook has gotten out. That's 6 wickets. After that, Jamie Smith and I think it was Will Jacks who had a really good partnership. Okay,
Yeah.
Jamie Smith has reached 60 out of nowhere. He's hit Mitchell Starc for 3 fours in an over. He decides 3 is not enough. I am going to go for 4 fours in an over. He moves his front leg out like Chris Gale would do, puts his bat up and just swings at the ball against Mitchell Starc.
But no matter what you say, baseball is entertaining as a neutral viewer.
As a neutral, it's beautiful, bro. It's beautiful.
I can't even watch it as a neutral, bro. I get angry. I'm Ricky Ponting, bro. I'm like, what are you doing? The worst batting I've ever seen. Bro, at that point of time, what the game situation was, they were leading by 10. And he's like, like Amar said, it's not enough, bro. Come down, star.
They had to chase down,
No. This was the thing. They were leading by 10 at this point. They ended up setting Australia a target of like some 80. Oh, no, sorry.
How is that possible, bro?
Yeah, you're right. They were well behind in this.
They were well behind,
Not how he got on the previous match, which is equally stupid by the way. But yeah,
they were well behind, but there was a chance of them winning this game, okay, because they'd finally gotten some momentum. And Mitchell Stark is being hit. They could have chased that down, but no, I'm going to go and hit Stark for a 4th 4 in the over. And then after that, it was just... actually, even after that, like, Cast played a decent innings and again England had hope. So why I like the third test was, they kept having hope at certain situations, okay?
they managed to get some hope up. They were decimated each time.
And then they played baseball and they lost.
That wrapped up the series. Gave it to Australia with 11 days playing cricket. And we come to the fourth test.
We don't need to talk about
it. It was a dead rubber game. But it was a crazy game in all instances because the very first day of cricket that you saw there.
I have one thing to talk about the fourth test, which I think is really important, and we've not addressed this at all, okay? At a certain point, England decided that the way that they're going to approach this Ashes is they're going to go all heavy pace attack.
Yes.
And at some point, they told Stuart Broad and James Anderson, who both, I think, from what I'm hearing online, is that they wanted to keep this Ashes as their last hurrah and then retire. But somewhere in the cycle, they got left out because England didn't want to go into the series with a genuine spin bowler who hits the line and length, who knows how to bowl basically in a test game. Instead, they decided that we'll go with Mark Wood and Jofra Archer and Bryden Cass, who two of them are very injury prone, and you are bowling at the end of the day, you're getting 4 over bursts from them. Like, you don't expect Jofra, even if Mark Wood was fit throughout the series, right? He's going to give you 4 over bursts of high pace. Then you're going to get him out of the attack and get someone else in, because they can't bowl that many overs. And they decided this is how they want to go ahead. They've decided to completely ignore what county cricketers are doing. And this is a conscious decision that has been said in public. Like, this is not the approach that we want to take. England pitches are very different. County form doesn't matter. I really wish Gambhir had said that. Okay. What happened in the 4th test? Who was their highest wicket taker? Josh Tongue. Lowest average speed. Closest to...
First time he bowls in the series, he takes a 5-wicket haul.
Closest to what Anderson and Broad would do if they are there, which is hitting the line in length. You're not express, you're bowling at 130, 135. Something what Chris Wokes would do as well. Again, who was... I don't know if he was forced to retire or if he was injured and decided to retire himself, whatever it is. These are the kind of bowlers that have won Australia the games. Michael Neser, Scott Boland. Mitchell Stark is a different league altogether, but...
You mentioned this, no? But then I just wanted to add to that because even during when the selections and the teams came out first, there was a lot of awkward silence. There was like no comments pushed out by the officials, by the England cricket board for 24 hours or like nearly 30 hours. And they finally then said like this is the team, and then they gave the justifications for it. Even they were not sure about what to do and which team.
I think they knew what was coming probably, but Amar's absolutely right that plan A is fine, but you need to have some backup contingencies when things are not going to work exactly the way you want them to work. And
another point on what Akshat is saying right now, they've taken 2 openers and gone. They've just not introduced another opener. Thinking, first of all, that they'll perform, and second, more importantly, that they'll stay fit. If there was an injury, who is there in this? Who's played the 3-year cycle for England? It's just Ben Duckett and Zach Crawley.
And Zach Crawley has an average of 31 in test matches. He's not going to be a messiah over here. So, yeah.
Actually, in the 3rd game, even Zach Crawley gave up baseball. Like, that guy's built his whole career on baseball, and he's like, wait, there might be a chance that Brendan McCullum is going to get fired after this. And if he gets fired, I'm the first person who's going to go. Because he's the epitome of what baseball is. Wherever the ball is pitched, if it is in your arc, you're going to drive fast and furious at it. Like off stump or 6 stump, you're going to drive. That's what Zach Crawley does. And look at his innings, like the way he played in the 3rd match. He's got runs and he's played out the long game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the 4th test was a dead rubber game. And we have one more test, Sydney. what do you see? What can you expect from
England will thrash Australia, bro.
Like,
Take
so,
it. How does it matter?
Like, they get close to the series then, like Amar said. 3-2.
Yeah, then they'll pat themselves on the back, they'll be like baseballs in the bath, and they'll continue to get thrashed.
Hey, can we
against
give a
teams.
shout out to our boy Jacob Bethel, bro? Number
go.
3 played a great 40.
Useless.
So, but
Useless.
I want to ask though.
What an innings in this! He's
That's
a
a good
RCB
shout out.
coded.
Why should he be given a place in the test team, bro? That guy doesn't even play county cricket.
No,
He's not
but
even played at all.
I want to
Because he
bring this
went
up,
from
though.
county straight to the England team.
Yeah, but if you're coming in the test team, you should have played at least some amount of county cricket, which is given you.
How?
something.
He's travelling with the England squad.
Who takes
I
that
am
spot
saying
though
that
for
is
in the
the
future?
problem. That is the problem.
Who
Don't
takes
select
that
him
spot
now.
in the future? Oli Pope or him?
Definitely Jacob Bethel.
Are
After
those my
this.
only two options?
In the third position.
Can I call up Pujara and ask him to change his nationality? That's what they need, bro.
Actually, if McCullum goes, I think Stokes is going to take the number 3 spot.
I think Stoke also goes.
Stokes is not going anywhere,
He
bro.
should
Like,
go. All of them should go.
I mean, come on, like across the series, Stokes has been incredible.
No,
for
I
him.
mean, I agree. Stokes is the only one who can actually like battle it out over there.
Yeah.
But
Since you mentioned the possibility of a change of guard, because we saw how this particular last 4-year cycle went for
they
England.
won't change, bro.
We've touched upon the stats there, and we've talked about the problems with baseball, like the refusal to adopt and like giving your bowlers very little adapt.
you
Sorry,
have to
guys,
adopt
adapt.
Pujara, bro. I'm telling you, he's the only one who can save this team.
Giving your bowlers very little time, the stubbornness to not change your tactics, all of that. How do you see England playing in the future? Do they continue with this baseball
100%
scenario?
because they've now won in Australia, which they have not done for a very long time in the
He's
last
right.
15 years.
He's right.
Stokes seemed, as I said, very happy in the presser yesterday.
Bro, 100% they're going to now. In fact, they're going to double down on this approach.
They're going to thrash whichever poor team is coming to England next. They're going to feel damn happy about it. Root will go from 40 to 44 centuries. And they're going to again act like this is the best possible way to play cricket. And try to teach us that, guys, this is how you play cricket. It's going to be a horrible cycle. I don't know. The only way I see it ending is McCullum himself stepping down, saying that I've achieved whatever I wanted to achieve, as hilarious as that sounds.
ruining England.
Yeah. Dhurandhar, bro.
In fact, England are coming to India next, and I actually think because of the way this Indian team is shaping up, that England will do well, and then they'll double down even more. They'll triple down, quadruple down, and then the next Ashes in England is going to be a lot of fun.
Bro, McCullum and Gambhir is the real world battle of bastards, bro. they are two absolutely egotistical, arrogant idiots who are horrible test players, but they are coming out there and deciding how test cricket is supposed to be played. It's going to be they say one series for the history books. This is history for the toilet, bro.
I think this is a good place to end it, right? On that note, I'm happy to look forward to England's continuous efforts in baseball. Do share your opinions on this Ashes series. We're available on all platforms. This episode will be out pretty soon, and hope you have a good time.